All right, everybody. That is a wrap on Session 1, Parts 1 and 2, Body Odor and Success. How we feeling?
Fantastic.
Like body odor and success.
Yeah. Yeah, no, straight up. I was sweating so much when we first started.
I stink today. That's great.
Everyone's...
Also, we came out unscathed, so. We did. We're just,
We
impressive.
didn't get hit once in that combat.
Yeah, the only time that thing was going to hit, you imposing disadvantage made it from a hit to a not.
And I had silvery barbs ready just in
Oh,
case it
nice.
did.
I didn't take silvery barbs.
God, yeah, I forgot you took silvery barbs. Oh, boy. I'm never going to land a hit. That thing had plus 11 to hit.
Wait, really? At a plus
Yeah,
11?
I rolled
Wow.
2 4s and a 6.
Dang, that's tough.
And then,
That's a rip.
or rather, the one where I was going to hit, I rolled a 17 and then a 5.
Yeah,
So,
Brutal.
Rough.
tough. That is tough, man.
Goodness.
yeah. Unfortunate, but I guess fortunate for you all.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how do we feel about the initial legs of our journey from the village of Rossi through Dibelon very briefly, the ruins of Tarmalon, and now to the outskirts of Leonestra, the first place in the Outer Wilds we're going to?
Damn, you're calling it a ruin already? People lived there like an hour ago.
Things ruin quickly in this part of town.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm feeling good. I don't know how much I have to say, but I'm feeling good. I feel like we've played with each other enough, most of us, to like not have to sun's in your eyes, bud. Hey, you're kind of separated. I feel like definitely the three of us have played together enough to like not have to worry about chemistry a ton, but I feel like we got off and running real quick.
Yeah, the gel at this table took maybe 20 minutes tops, which was fantastic. To not have to worry about, like, am I going to have to facilitate people getting to, like, speak with each other? Like, when you went out of your way to be like, I want to smell Amir. Like, I want to literally sniff out his vibes. I was like, this is fantastic. Y'all are doing the work for me. I don't have to make anybody interact. You are, like, actively seeking it out. It felt really good. This feels like a really good group.
And it smells really bad.
Vibes are a little
rancid.
rancid, a little bit.
Not quite heinous, but definitely a tad on the rancid side.
Yeah.
So, I'm quite intrigued by the Rituals of the Second Age book because in our home game,
Yeah.
I used to have that book. I had like the pocket version of that book, so I know quasi what's in the book, but I don't know what is in the book that has to do with what's happening to me and with us like now in this time period that we're at. So I'm like, damn, why does this book like keep coming back? She's so important, and I'm so curious why.
Also, if I remember correctly, you literally wrote this book, right? Like, it's an actual physical book.
I have our notes doc.
I wrote-
TXT file up there.
I typed it out. I have to, like, transcribe it still if I feel like doing it eventually. But
In
like,
case you were wondering if our DM is crazy, the answer is yes. They must be.
I literally did write a creation myth. That is chapter 1 of the book.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have to be a little bit mad to be a DM.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just a tad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a good start to this campaign. I'm interested very much to see how the next couple are gonna go, just because, like, we have very different motivations at the moment. Like, I think Trunk just wants to kill things and make it feel like he's doing good things for the world. But when it gets to, like, these deeper political aspirations, it's, like, pretty trepidatious about it. So it's gonna be weird.
Vic doesn't give a fuck about politics.
I know, right?
I was sitting through that whole talk that we had with Shabbat Shalom, and I'm just like, bro, I don't care. Why am I here?
Why are
Fuck,
we changing
dude.
a broken system?
Literally.
Comes to the person who wants to change the broken system. Yeah, Yako is like, he's just like, Well, first off, Yako's extremely excited that he's like found people to like adventure with, because like he's been waiting for this for so long, and I think he's like I think he deeply believes that like, oh, it is possible to change the UKR from the inside, and he's trying to figure out how to do that without like disrupting, because I think Shivy like has kind of explained to him a lot of the issues with the UKR and how like taking over all of these like Tanji's worship and moving them to the Dami of Koth is like inherently like a negative thing for the surrounding towns that have this worship of the Tanji. And so he's like trying to piece in his head, is like, is there a way that we can find a medium? And maybe there's a point where there's not, and he's got to figure something else out. But like, I don't know. It's a lot of like planting the seeds of like, okay, where can Yako in this like kind of like political aspiration like move forward from this? And I think through also just like the journey that he's going to have like with all of these characters, he's going to learn so much more than just, what he learned in his village of Rossi. Yeah. So it's going to be weird.
One of my favorite like character moments today was the fact that Yako had his like go pack already. I just like,
had it for so long.
yeah, that he had to dust it off. I was like, oh, that's just so cute. And I feel like it was just such like a nice moment that it like makes it super clear to everyone that you've been like waiting for the call to adventure. So that was a nice moment.
Yeah. There's definitely, I think we're going to see the juxtaposition a lot between the very experienced adventurers and the ones who are still sort of green, like going throughout the campaign. I think that'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
I imagine that like Yako is like a kind of like a, I read a book about adventuring, so I know what I'm doing, and then you two are like, no, we've actually been doing it, and we like know what matters, which I think will be very funny to figure out.
I guess my question is, what are y'all expecting out of Leonestra? What are y'all expecting out of coming into a place where the Inner Wilds has this like very dispersed rural villages structure, whereas now you're entering a place where the cleric who you're about to like meet, have a conversation with, is like clearly doing the kind of magic that is establishing a border. Right, like Shavat was like aware of the borders of Rossi, but this is a enforceable border where people could not get in until they were allowed in. Like, what are y'all expecting? What are you looking forward to? What do you think you're getting into?
I'm interested to see the difference between worship in a UKR village versus not. And you guys, you'll see this in the episode if you watch. I mean, the questions that Vic was asking about, like, how does shifting worship from the Tanji to the Dami affect the Tanji, and like, does that throw things out of balance or not? I'm very interested.
I think that Amir is ambivalent about the situation. I think he doesn't like druids. Sorry. But I mean, like traditional land druid. He's not a fan of those.
I'm not a
so
traditional
yeah.
druid,
So
you'll
you're
find
fine.
out.
So not a druid fan. So he's like, okay, I trust a cleric a little bit more than I would trust a druid in this situation. But the fact that he was like not letting those people in when they were like in danger, like it is your job to kind of protect people. Like, why are you hiding behind the door and letting people die?
Because he's a coward?
Yeah. So are you a coward? Or are you just an asshole? Like, what's going on here? So I'm like, you're on thin ice.
Yeah, I agree. It's a thin ice situation, and we'll be on thin ice protocol until further information arises.
What is the nice protocol?
We tiptoe through the tulips.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I think Trunk's a little suspicious. Thankful for food and a place to stay. Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited to like snuff it out as a person who's like not very good at investigating things.
Yeah, as a character with a 9 intelligence, I'm ready to investigate.
Yeah, Yako definitely also views this guy as like a coward. It's like, why were you not helping these people? And I think he's also trying to think about it from his perspective of the cleric and be like, okay, like this is where like my help ends. In a way, it's like setting a boundary for like who you're willing to help, which like, you know, is a thing. And I think Yako's also like going into this is thinking about how he is wearing like some UKR like officiant and like how that will be treated in the Outer Wilds. Like is it going to be met with immediate hostility, which like I could imagine so, or will it be met with like a we understand what you're doing, we don't agree with it, all of these things, or something else? Maybe they're supporters in the Outer Wilds of like the UKR, so who knows? But I'm interested to see how that plays out. But I'm definitely I think going in, Yako's expecting like some heat and is definitely like on edge a little bit, not necessarily to like defend, but just to like be like expecting some form of like general like displeasure of him being around because of what he's wearing.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's something that I honestly hadn't really been thinking all that hard about. But now it's like, yeah, how does that affect the people here? Although, actually, I'm going to stop answering this question because I cannot say a whole lot. I guess, actually, one other question that I do have here. We're unfortunately not going to be shooting for about another month now. When you all come back, the next time you hop back into character, what is the first thing that y'all are going to like want to know just off the bat, like from this cleric? Like,
That's easy answer. I talked to you about this before. I feel like I think Vic wants to know like what relations are like between Koth and the other major cities on the island, because it seems like the United Kothi Republic has a very isolationist, I think is the word. And with some knowledge that we have from our home games, I wonder how the other city governments are reacting to that, and how some individuals in particular are reacting.
Loki, I'm pretty proud of the structure of the geopolitics
Careful.
in this iteration of the world.
It's a very directional mic, so we gotta. I'm done talking.
I think so. Amir is a fun little fugitive of multiple organizations, and I think that he just wants to know, has anybody who's tracking him been around here? Is anybody there? Hopefully not.
Hope not, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Tronk's main thing is that he just wants to like understand more about the world and like emotions and like feel things. And everything that happens like just works towards that. So I think he's curious about this guy, wants to know what his deal is, and hopefully I'll get to see his true nature. Yeah.
I think Yako wants to immediately just kind of figure out what is going on in this village in terms of like Tanji worship and how that relates to how they're able to survive from things like the scorch rot. Obviously, this barrier was very like a big part of their safety. And so how then like asking like how would like switching to worshiping the Dami affect that and change that, and just kind of general like ideas of like if this option was presented to you to change over to the Dami, how would that affect your day-to-day life, and how would it make it easier, would it make it harder? Is there a reason you haven't done it already? Is there a reason you stay at what you're doing? That's like I think the immediate stuff that he wants to know.
Those are all very good questions, and look forward to being able to have all of you answer them for yourselves and for each other. But for now, that's all for Within the Trees, our little talkback show. We're going to go take down set and catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.